The tradition continues.
Calvary Global to the world 24/7.
Tradition continues.
Calvary.
In Gaza, Israeli forces continue to target the entire strip, killing at least 50 more Palestinians. Overnight strikes targeted the tents of displaced civilians in Al-Mawasi, designated by Israel to be a safe zone. But there's nowhere safe to go in Gaza, much of which has become uninhabitable. The death toll overall since October 2023 has surpassed 52,200. Meanwhile, Israel's policy of blocking aid from entering Gaza is pushing even more children to the brink of death. It's been 2 months since the last delivery of aid reached the strip, where more than 2 million people live.
Osama suffers from malnutrition. He now weighs 9 kilos, whereas a normal 5-year-old child should weigh between 15 and 16 kilos. Osama is severely underweight and suffers from acute malnutrition due to the closure of the crossings and the lack of foodstuff. He needs special food to go back to normal.
Palestinian official Ammar Hijazi has told the International Court of Justice that Israel is using the blocking of aid to Gaza as a weapon of war. The UN's top court opened hearings on Monday to examine Israel's obligations to allow humanitarian aid into the occupied territories. Israel is not taking part in those hearings. Russian President Vladimir Putin has declared a 3-day ceasefire in the war in Ukraine to take place in May. But the announcement from the Kremlin was dismissed by Kiev, and the White House says the temporary measure is not enough and that a permanent ceasefire is needed to bring the conflict to a peaceful resolution. Polls have closed in Canada's federal election, which will determine who becomes the country's next Prime Minister. And with early results already in, domestic broadcasters are suggesting a win for the Liberals. US President Donald Trump's tariffs and threats about annexing Canada became central issues. Trump's threats led to a surge of support for the Liberal Prime Minister Mark Carney. Canadians have to choose either Carney or opposition leader Pierre Poilievre. And Spain's Prime Minister says nearly half of the national power supply is now being restored following a major blackout that struck several cities across Spain and Portugal. It disrupted public transport, causing traffic jams and delaying airline flights. Investigations into the cause continue.